The last time Uganda experienced heavy rains was in 1962 when Lake Victoria rose by 2 meters. This water level has reportedly been maintained to date. Nearly 60 years later, the country could experience similar rains, but this time with a much more expected rise of 4 meters. What could have otherwise been great news for East Africa's freshwater lake could ecologically have negative implications.
It's better to be concerned. If 4 meters is on a river, it can remain there. 4 meters on a lake means that is coming out to get people.
It is such implications that prompted World Bank during the last United Nations Convention to pledge funding towards sustainable land management.
Their funding, I don't know if you look at when they announce their programs, it means that that's where they're going to put money. So countries will access this money through the bond system that I talked about. They're going to have green bonds, blue bonds, and forest protection bonds. That means that if we want to get to, and this is not the language of money.
Such interventions could have laid a fertile ground for the 2011 to 2020 strategic plan for biodiversity conservation. The 10-year framework called for action by all countries and stakeholders to save biodiversity.
Ultimately, for us to survive on this planet, we have no choice. We have no choice than to live in harmony with nature, to conserve nature, to use nature wisely, to value nature, so that it continues to serve us. The loss you see happening in Uganda is almost happening in every corner of the country. I mean, in every corner of the world.
These concerns come at a time when the strategic plan nears its end in 2020, posing a question of what happens after.
When there's no ecological balance, one species, for instance, becomes extinct, and then the other species are threatened, you find a very big imbalance, which also affects our survival as human beings. That is why this particular topic of biological diversity is very important to us as a country.
So this framework is meant to make the world a better place for us. And therefore, as Ugandans, we should begin thinking very seriously and taking action to reduce or to mitigate and therefore undo the bad things we have done to nature. Because when nature reacts badly to us, we have even no capacity to withstand its wrath. You've seen this where environment is degraded. You have seen landslides. You have seen when this happens because of degradation of the environment, we are helpless.
The first national consultation meeting on post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework brought on board environmentally passionate stakeholders at NEMA in Kampala. The meeting follows adoption of a preparatory process for the development of a post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework by the Conference of the Parties at its 14th meeting. It is expected to be adopted at the 2020 UN Biodiversity Conference in Beijing, China. Henry Okurut, UBC.